Hi everybody, my name is Melissa Welsh and I'm the founder of Pixel Sense and Melissa Welsh Photography.
And I'm Amanda, the founder of Amanda Haddow Photography. And you're joining us for Wine Down Wednesday. Come grab a glass. Awesome. So, Melissa, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started?
Sure. I have been a photographer since I was 15 years old. That's at least when I decided that this is what I wanted to do for a living. I took all the courses I could when I was in high school, went on to Fanshawe College where I got a diploma in photographic arts, and then I started my business full-time in 2005, which was just about 11 years ago.
Wow.
And then I used to run what was more of a wedding and outdoor lifestyle type of company in Nelson. I did that for about 7 years. And then 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to move to Victoria and take over a company from Rob Desterbay, who was retiring. So he was a longtime photographer here in Victoria, BC. Retired 2 Septembers ago, actually. So I've been in the studio here for almost exactly 2 years now.
Awesome.
How about you, Amanda? Tell us about you.
Well, I have just recently moved back to Victoria after being in the Middle East for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to start up a photography business there 4 years ago and transition over to newborn photography and maternity about 2 years ago. So one of my main concerns was coming to Victoria and finding a studio. And somehow we got introduced together and you invited me here, and now we're exploring sharing a studio together and figuring out some things along the way.
Yes. So it's kind of cool because I've been running the studio here for 2 years, and one of my main goals for 2016 was to make my company as efficient as possible. And one of those things was, instead of shooting on all different days of the week, whenever it was convenient for my clients, I actually narrowed down my shooting days to just 2 a week. And after successfully doing that for about 6 months, I realized that there were days of the week that the studio wasn't actually in use, it was just empty. So I started looking for somebody else that might fit in with my business model. And I didn't even really have to look that hard. Basically a friend of a friend mentioned that he knew somebody who's coming to town. They were just moving back. They were looking for a studio. She photographs babies and maternity, and I do not photograph babies or really any maternity. I'm more of a wedding and family and commercial photographer. So we connected, and Amanda started sharing the space about 2 months ago. And then basically just within the last couple of weeks, we started having all kinds of incredible conversations. And that's when we got this idea that maybe we should invite you to hang out with us and listen in a little bit. We both come from very different backgrounds, but we're also both kind of in the exact same stage of life, close-ish anyway. I have 2 children, a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. And Amanda?
I have 3 kids. I have a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah, so we're really connecting here on a lot of different levels, and the big thing that we've been talking about in the last 2 weeks is Amanda's recent desire to make the switch from being a shoot and burn photographer to in-person sales.
Yeah, so one of my main concerns coming back to Canada and moving into a town with a lot of other photographers is, what if I'm the only one who has moved from shoot and burn to in-person sales? I'm worried that everybody else is still doing the shoot and burn and that I would stand on my own doing in-person sales. So that's been a bit of a concern of mine, and Melissa's given me some amazing answers.
Yeah. And so are you still feeling that way a little bit inside, or some of
I'm still a little bit scared.
Yeah.
We've started the process together, but it's a completely different shift for me than what I was doing before. And what seemed very simple now seems to be even more simple, and it makes so much more sense that I would be able to value my work in a better way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
Cool. I'm trying to think of what I wanted to ask you. She's so scared to switch. So one of the things you talked about is like, what if you're the only one? And so I guess the first thing is you're not, because I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I've actually been doing it my entire career. Now I haven't necessarily been doing it well, because even though I did all the things that I thought I was supposed to do, I went to school, I got a diploma, I worked with other photographers for years and years. Like the sales part of it and even the strategy part of it, like honestly didn't really start to come together for me until the last couple of years. So even though I've always been doing my own version of in-person sales, I really didn't take it to the next level until the last year. So I made some changes in my own business that everybody had been telling me to do, and the big one being projecting. I didn't start projecting until this year. And I kick myself in the butt for it because, you go to all these conferences and everybody says, like, you sell what you show, and if you're not showing big, you're never going to sell big. And I heard it year after year after year after year, and then this year finally, well, actually, that's not totally true. I was showing on a 42-inch TV for a little while, so that was a bit of a transition for me, like going from my little laptop where I would sit with my clients on the couch, and we would like go through everything like this. To then showing them on the TV, which definitely, like you can definitely see an increase in my sales when I made that jump, but I still wasn't selling like the 30-inch, 60-inch prints that I really wanted to be, because I really believe that that's how my work should show, until last year when I finally made the jump and bought the projector, so.
And I'm really excited to try the projector because that's something I have never done with my clients. And it's going to be a big shift because I have been that business that has shown my clients either a pose sheet or an online gallery. I've never had them in for a sales session, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. But actually I'm looking forward to getting to know my clients a little bit more and creating a relationship with them, which for my business is important because I think it's so much better for the business to maintain your clients, to keep them for a longer period of time, rather than just to have them in for that one quick, cheap session, and then never have them back again because they haven't valued the quality of my work or the relationship that we've created together.
And I think that that's almost the more important thing, or the key thing is the relationship, right? Like people do business with people they know and like. And if you haven't given your clients the opportunity to get to know you, if all they ever see is you the day of the session running around like a maniac trying to get all of these shots, and then they never see you again, like there's absolutely no reason really for them to do business. I mean, of course, sure there is, right? But the idea, like if you're trying to build a long-term sustainable business, for your family, like if you want, like imagine getting to shoot these kids 25 years from now.
I know.
Like why couldn't you be doing that? And what an honor it would be if you built a strong enough relationship where you were actually connected with these people through your whole life, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, that's a big part of our business, right? It's a lot of anyway, blah blah blah.
And one of the concerns that I would say a lot of people have from making the transition would be whether they would lose clients. Are the clients that are used to coming in and paying a certain amount actually going to transition, not just with me because I've just moved to a new town, but for most people, are the clients that they already have going to embrace that in-person sales session and embrace that huge switch, because it is quite a big switch and there's probably going to be
you're gonna lose clients.
Higher pricing on products, but
for sure you're gonna lose clients, and that's just part of it. And you're gonna have to let some of them go and know that that's just part of being in business, right? But the other thing that I think it's important to remember is that it doesn't have to happen overnight. Like you don't have to do everything all at once. And if right now your customer base is used to receiving digital files, there's a couple of different things that you can do to transition you out of that stage. One of the things that I recommend, and this is a Pixel Sense proposed industry standard, is that we start restricting the file size. So I suggest that's like the first thing that you can do is, instead of giving them, if you're used to giving them a disk of all of the files, why don't you create a product line? This is baby steps, right? But a product line of different sizes of discs or different size files on those discs. So you have a social media disc. So maybe now the first thing you're gonna do is, yes, you're gonna include all of the files, but they're only the social media files, right? And then that means that your clients are gonna have to come back to you and you get to practice with them, you know, with the wholesale session, and try to upgrade them into a print. It gives you the opportunity to talk about, you know, the heirloom products that you know, create for your clients and blah, 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 blah. Or maybe they want to spend more money and upgrade to the 4x6 so they have printing rights and all that kind of thing. Now, you know, it's still difficult to make the kind of money that you need to make to support your family just selling digital files, but at the same time, for those people that already have an established client base, it is a difficult thing to do overnight. So I would say baby steps. Start with that. Restrict your file size would be the very first thing I would do if you're feeling like you can't just completely turn it around overnight. Now Amanda's in a bit of a different situation where she can turn it around overnight because she's moved her company to a new city, right? And you're basically building your reputation from the ground up. So it's like, why
Starting
the hell
all over
not?
again.
Exactly. Fake it till you make it. You know, like you get to, you know, present yourself as this, you know, very successful, high value boutique photography service that has now just landed in Victoria, BC.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. One of the things that's really attracted me to make this switch is, you know, we're both moms. We can't work in a high throughput studio having people come in and, you know, paying a couple $100s a session because it doesn't work for our lifestyle and it doesn't work for the boutique studio that we want to show our clients. So one of the things that attracts me to moving to a more boutique style studio and in-person sales is being able to cut down the number of sessions that we're doing per month. So, you know, instead of coming in and doing 5 sessions a month, maybe we cut, 5 sessions a week, maybe we cut that down to 2 or 3 sessions a week where we can really spend the time with our clients to make sure that they have a product that they're going to be able to keep forever and that they're going to treasure. And that to me seems a lot more meaningful than just meeting so many people, not developing a relationship with them, but having them walk out the door maybe with 30 digitals that they may or may not ever print.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the difference between your like low, high volume, low price type of business versus low volume, high price type of business. And the low volume, high price tends to also be high value, right? Or maybe it should even just be low volume, high value, right? And and not even care about the price. But I mean, it's a fun stage to be in. I mean, like even for myself, who has always really tried to do it right, you know, the way that I was taught way back, you know, when I was in school almost 15 years ago or whatever it was, you know, really focusing, especially now being a mom where, you know, time is precious, right? And I don't have the time to spend like before I had kids, you know, I could work 45 to 50 hours on my business, like just totally dedicated. Or put in 12-hour days or whatever it is, and I don't have the luxury of doing that. And the truth is I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like past that. That was like so in my 20s, you know? It was like, you know, you put your time in and you work your butt off, and now it's like, okay, there has to be a smarter way to do this. How can I make enough money to support my family, work, you know, really hard, but the least amount of hours that I need to, and present my clients with an unbelievably beautiful product that I feel good about, you know? And
I mean, I feel that high throughput attitude leads to burnout so quickly for people.
It totally does.
And I know it's happened. I've taken on too much work and not had the balance right. And I think for all of us, especially photographers that are moms, it is trying to find the balance between doing something that we love, providing a quality product to our clients that they love, and also being able to have time for our own families, because otherwise we're not going to last in this business.
Well, exactly. Well, and what's the point? Like, what's the point of working?
Exactly.
Working for no money. What is the point? You know, like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So where can everybody find out a little bit more information about what you're starting?
Pixel Sense basically is a company that I started this year. I wrote a book a couple of years ago and then created an app, an iOS app, for photographers to help them figure out their cost of doing business, but also, just as importantly, help them figure out how to place a value on their intellectual property. So I created a formula, which you probably won't care about. Most photographers don't like to deal with math, so I made it really easy. You just get to slide your finger back and forth in the app, and it's really fun to figure out what it is that you should be charging for your digital files. And anyway, so now that has turned into a company and a bit of a community, where we are empowering photographers to charge what they're worth and make sure that they understand how to place a value on their work and their photographs. So you can go to pixelsense.com. You sign up for our newsletter. We are the course that Amanda has taken with me over the last couple of weeks, which we didn't really talk about too much, but basically it's a course to help you transition from IPS. Just joking. Course to help you transition from being a shoot and burn photographer to being more of a high value company and offering in-person sales to your clients. This is not just in-person sales. There's a lot of other things that get wrapped up in that. So yeah, you can go and sign up on the blog for the newsletter, and next week I think that we're gonna be talking about the first 3 steps that you should take.
Absolutely, right? Yes. I've just started the course. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys can go take a look. And next week we'll get on those first 3 steps, and we'll tell you all about how it's gone.
More specifics. And then in the meantime, if you have a moment, if you can take a second and write us some of your thoughts, either in the comments below here on YouTube or go straight to the blog. And what we want to know is where you're at right now. Are you on the fence? Are you scared? Are you already there, but you're wondering if you're doing it right? Let us know, because hopefully next week we can actually help you out and address some of those questions.
Absolutely. What's holding you back? Because there were a few things that were holding me back before I decided to make the switch. Let us know all about what you guys are going through. We'd love to talk to you about it. But anyway, that's Wine Down Wednesday.
We didn't drink enough wine.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.